What is going on, fellow fans of Clash Royale? It is your host, Galadon. Thank you so much for stopping by for another sneak peek. There's been a lot of hype. There's been maybe some leaks, some rumors. Well, we are going to let the floodgates open as we talk about 6 new cards coming to the game, including 3 legendaries. But right now, we're talking about the 3 non-legendary cards. Here they are maxed out. The first one, the Fire Spirits. That is going to be a common card targeting air and ground. Wait until you see the animation on these guys. They're so fast and they do splash damage. We'll get to them. But we also have the Furnace, which is a rare card which generates the Fire Spirits. So you've got more of them, you've got a generator for them, and you've got them as their own card. So another building, another structure comes into play. And my personal favorite of the 3, the Guards, also rumored to be called the Skeleton Warriors. They are guards, and the shields are going to make them great tools to use against a lot of different other cards. So we've talked about how this really works. Like, rather than nerfing cards, they introduce other cards, and it affects a nerf on certain cards that exist in the game. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the gameplay up against Trainer Happy. Trainer Happy, are you happy? All right, so let's go ahead and try splitting guards. Yes, it works, just like you might split barbarians. 2 down the right, 1 down the left. Skeleton army, all right, guards aren't going to do very well against the skeleton army, but you know what would do well? The Fire Spirits, because they do splash damage. We'll get to them in a minute. We'll go ahead and give them a try. In the meantime, I think we kind of have to stop this push over here. Okay, so let's try the Fire Spirits so you can see the splash against the Goblins, maybe? There we go. All right, so you notice they basically suicide themselves. They're not a conventional troop like you would see like skeletons or goblins. They don't fight. They just jump onto their opponent, in effect, suiciding themselves and doing a lot of damage. You'll notice they can get through a lot of structures and other troops quickly. So we'll put the Furnace down, which will generate the Fire Spirits. There they go, 2 at a time. And man, they are fast. They get down there quickly, and they are going to get... Okay, one of them gets to the tower, and there you can see that damage to the tower. So they will do damage over time, kind of like a spear goblin hut. Now right here on the right hand side, great look at their splash damage. You can see they will take out multiple troops at a time should they be able to jump into a pack. So let's go ahead and rage up our furnaces, get them going a little bit faster maybe. We've got a Hog Rider moving in here. There we go. That is going to, man, those things just fly across the screen under rage. Definitely the fastest units in the game right now. And we've got Warriors up again, so we can put those guards, come on. Skeleton Warriors, that was the rumored name, but obviously they are going to be called Guards. And man, that's going to change things up. A unit that has a shield that has to be knocked off before you can do any damage to the underlying unit itself is going to be difficult to deal with, especially for, say, the Prince. You can definitely stop a Prince with a group of guards, and it's going to act a lot like the Dark Prince's shield that you see it has to get knocked off before you can take the Dark Prince down. And each of these cards is very unique in its abilities. I love this idea. I love the fact that every card we're seeing coming to the game is really so different than any existing card. The Furnace generates these Fire Spirits that do damage. They do splash damage. So it's the first splash damaging structure that we've seen that spams units. So building spammers, hut spammers, rejoice. There is yet another one for you guys to set down along with your barbarian and your goblin huts and your tombstones. Who knows? But the weird thing is about it, of course, again, they are Fire Spirits and they do this little suicide move. So it's not a unit that's going to be around for any time at all. Its goal is just to jump onto its target, and that is the end of the Fire Spirit. So for 2 elixir, it is a very cheap card, a good distractor card, but maybe not as good as a distraction as, say, the 1 elixir skeletons, simply because they end their own lives so quickly as opposed to trying to fight like the skeletons do. They will last longer than the Fire Spirits. So we'll have to see what type of strategy evolves from that. But I did want to get into talking a little bit about the idea of people feeling like those that can unlock these new cards and level them up faster might have a big advantage over players that don't. And I don't really see that happening, even with the coming legendary cards that obviously are going to be revealed very, very soon. I don't see that any of these cards are going to give a huge advantage to any player. And this is something that we talked about way back when Clash Royale was pre-global, back when it was in beta, and even before that when it was still a company playable. The team talked about the idea that these legendary cards and even the epic cards would be great. People would want to have them, but they're not balance-changing cards. They're not, oh, you have to have these legendaries or you have to have these epics or you're going to lose. It's not that way at all. They will have unique mechanics and they are very handy. Obviously, the princess is a very useful card to have in your deck. She is very versatile and can do a lot of damage if she's not dealt with, but there's no necessity for these cards. It's not like you can't win facing a player with brand new cards or better cards, if you see them as better anyway, because they're legendary or they're epic, versus say a common or rare deck like the one I'm rocking right here. So you'll notice this deck is one of my favorites, the Hog Cycle deck, but I've replaced the princess with another minion. So I have minions and Minion Horde, and I'm holding my own against the Game Hunter, a fellow YouTuber who's trying out some of the new cards. Now obviously part of this could be attributed to the fact that he's not that familiar with the use of the new cards, and obviously over time people are going to get better at deploying them, know exactly where they work out, what cards go in front or in combination with others, and I'm doing a pretty good job of countering his fire spirits, his guards here, and I don't have a single epic or legendary in this deck, and I'm holding him off. So again, like I've always said, it comes down to more so the player than the deck. I'd say it's still, in my opinion, probably about 2/3 player, 1/3 deck, as long as you have a sound deck. Obviously, again, we go back to the fundamentals of building a deck that has enough flexibility to handle and counter different cards and different structures. So now here the Game Hunter just kind of playing around. He's got a couple of furnaces down here so you can see the fire spirits trying to get in and watch them wipe out my goblins. Now also, I should tell you guys, this is the developer build that I'm playing on. So it's got the new highly ranged Royal Giant and it has the newly nerfed cannon. And there you can see the Giant outranging the cannon. That is not good for me. He's got a giant group of troops, but I've got a fireball, and finally that Giant is going to go down. As time counts down, it looks like he's kind of catching up. Like, we would be in big trouble if this battle went on for about 30 more seconds as another Royal Giant comes in. But time is going to run out, and I'm just barely going to eke out the win, 1 crown to 0, over the new cards without a single epic or legendary card in my own deck, and none of the new cards either. But get ready, you guys. I hope you are subscribed, because before you know it, and I mean that almost literally, before you know it, those legendary cards will be revealed. There will be a total of 5 legendary cards in Clash Royale. So stay tuned, you guys. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, I hate to repeat myself, but it's important. Don't miss out. Upcoming weekly tournaments as well. Thank you guys again, and I will see you tomorrow, maybe sooner, for more full attacks.
Galadon, what do you mean maybe sooner? What's sooner than tomorrow? Oh, wait. Oh, I get it.